You should get like a locket and put one Skittles gummy inside the locket. Then you always have
ridiculous locket.
one Skittles gummy.
I would also always have like insects near me.
Brunch, hit it, boys.
Tell you what, I got the question off of a commercial I saw the other day, and it was for a new item that I've since looked up and found out came out at least 6 months ago. But Skittles has a new product called Skittles Gummies, and they're like throwing gummies all around the place in the commercial. And has gummies been overtaken by pothead culture, and that you can't call something a gummy if it doesn't contain THC or Delta
8.
Delta 8.
Or Delta 9.
Delta 9 the...
Delta 8 is diet smoke, famously.
Right. Okay.
And Delta 9 is your typical THC.
Okay. And when you get to...
All my pot brains know this.
When you get to Delta 10, it's like...
It's like, all right, slow down,
That's a
pal.
joke, right?
No,
smoke.
No, because it gets more serious the higher you go.
Oh.
So Delta 7 would be the joke.
We got a complaint that at no point in a podcast had I said, you order diet smoke, that's a joke, right? And I was like, you just got to rewind to earlier in the episode. Pretty sure I said it, maybe even the first words of the podcast. First opportunity to make that joke is there. Yeah, but can Skittles call their thing Skittles Gummies if there's no pot in it?
I mean, they can. I just like, gummies has become synonymous with edibles now.
Right. So shouldn't that be like a marketing thing? Like, in a meeting, isn't somebody saying like, hey, should we be really dropping the G word if we're not popping any of the deltas into this?
Well, maybe they're just they're trying to reclaim it. Reclaim the innocence of the word gummies.
That's fair, but famously, Skittles has only made gummies since June of 2021.
True, but Skittles has been hot in the streets. That's probably not true. I was going to say Skittles has been hot in the streets for long before pot has been hot in the streets. Pot has famously been hot in the streets for a long time.
Do you know that there's an ongoing argument with my friends as to what hot in the streets means? Hot, like one of my friends thinks that when he says when he hears hot in the streets, he hears like there's like heat on them and like people are like out to get whatever you're talking about.
Hot in the streets means it's like flying off the shelves.
Cool,
like,
right?
Yeah,
That's how I know it to mean. I wouldn't say that Skittles gummies would be hot in the streets.
No, because they came out in 2021 and you're just now finding out about them.
Would you have Skittles gummies? Would you waste any of your candy
budget?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd try them. Once.
I'll tell you what, I'm out of control. I've been just blowing my candy budget on not Hershey's Cookies and Cream, but Hershey's Cookies and Cream drops. They're like Kisses, except they're cookies and cream, and they're in the shape of, honestly, they're in the shape of like a Skittles gummy.
Really?
They're like a circular, like almost like a coin, and cha-ching say your taste buds.
So the candy bar was like your gateway drug to now the cookies and cream.
And diet smoke was my gateway drug to the gateway drug of that one or two, however many candy bars that the nice Uber Eats person ended up delivering. Hershey's Cookies and Cream. I'm out of control with that right now. So good. Have you done it since?
I haven't done it in like a decade, probably. Decade plus. I forgot that those existed.
Don't know that I had seriously ever thought about it until it was brought up like a few months ago. And the next time I was thinking about candy, which, tell you what, for someone with as bad at eating habits as I have, I don't really do candy.
No, me neither. I've been doing a lot of ice cream, chips, big chips guy. Yeah, no, I'm not like a sweet head.
Yeah, I do my binge eaters will know this. I'll do something like two things that will counteract each other. So you never stop. So like you have ice cream and then you have Chex Mix, and there's no way you ever stop until all of it's gone, because You can't like
Those
leave
are the two
off.
hardest things to stop eating.
All right, that's true too. But like you can't leave off with sweet. You're like, I got to balance it out with a little like salt and garlic here, and then you're like, well, now I got Chex Mix mouth.
I never think about like the mixture of like that, like sweet or sour, like sweet and whatever.
Well, it's called bargaining and like rationalizing. It's like your brain. You're trying to come up with a way to tell your brain it's okay for me to eat an entire bag of Chex
My brain
Mix.
is just like, do I want this? Yes or no? And
Yeah.
usually the answer is yes.
Well, clearly not, because then why wouldn't you always be? Why wouldn't you constantly be doing both ice cream and Chex Mix then?
Because it's usually only when I'm like high. Like if that's the only time I really snack.
That's good. I rarely snack, but just because I don't have any, I don't let myself buy anything. Because if
If in the house, you're just.
If I get those drops, those things are gone in a second. But honestly, I bet we should do a challenge. I bet I could have a bag of Skittles gummies in my home, and I could keep it on me at like all times.
keep that thing on me.
Keep that thing on me, and I bet I could go a year without finishing that bag of Skittles gummies.
I think that we should do this challenge. We should mark it down. Keep the receipt the day you bought it,
Okay.
and just keep it everywhere. You have to bring it everywhere.
So then is there a rule of like I can't go out and buy other Skittles gummies?
yes, it has to be the original bag.
Okay. But
and you can't have Skittles gummies outside of that bag either.
fair. What about other candy though?
Yeah, you could do that.
So then I can go buy other like if I'm like really jonesing, what if I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go buy some like, I guess like the hard version of Skittles gummies would be like Luden's cough drops. It wouldn't even be Skittles.
Yeah. You just have to have it on you at all times, and you have to go 365 days without finishing the bag.
Okay. What if I like get in the pool?
It has to be poolside.
I like hold it.
Poolside. The only thing
I jump in the water and I hold it up as my body goes in.
right. My only concern is that like if you were to go to a concert or something, like they wouldn't let you bring in the outside snacks. Maybe you could explain the situation to the security guard and be like, "Sir, you don't understand. I'm not going to eat these. Don't worry about it, but I have to have them on me."
All right. You
should just tape all the Skittles gummies to your body underneath your shirt.
I have to have it on me within reason, which means I have it at home. If I'm like out of town for the weekend, I bring it with me.
Yes.
I don't think I need to like bring it to work or anything.
It has to be in the car.
In the car. So this is where it fucks me up because I'm very proud of how few things I need on my person when I leave. The only thing really saddling me down is the enormous phone charger I bring with me because I have an iPhone 1 with a max battery life of like 13
Your phone
minutes.
charger is outrageously large.
It lasts like 2 weeks though.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But
so how about this? You only have to have one Skittles gummy on you at all times.
Okay, I'll break off. What if I get a little Ziploc bag, put some Skittles gummies
so you
in
can do that.
there,
Yeah.
put that in
Because
my like work bag?
Because really, all you would need is one Skittles gummy to preserve the integrity of the bag.
Okay, I wonder what it'll be like if I just ever pop one though. Will I be tempted?
That'll probably make it harder.
Will I
would
give
assume
into
so.
the dance?
You know what you should do is you should get like a locket and put one Skittles gummy inside the locket. Then you always have
ridiculous locket.
one Skittles gummy.
I would also always have like
A
insects
locket.
near me.
That's true.
Fruit flies.
It would be hilarious though if you were to do that and like just at a party at some point you were just like, I'm a little buzzed, I'm a little hungry, and you just pop open that locket and take out the Skittles gummy.
That's very like Always Sunny in Philadelphia and or like Feidelberg.
Yes.
Like I could see Feidelberg having like loose Skittles, not just because he's a
considering
Skittles
he has
guy.
loose ham,
Yeah, like I could see him
pocket ham.
doing something like that. What would be? So I could definitely do this with Skittles gummies. I don't know if I could do it with. Is it Skittles that makes these? But is it? I think it's Skittles jelly beans. Or
yeah,
or Jolly Rancher jelly? Oh,
Jolly Rancher jelly beans. Yeah.
That is like a
Those
top
are
5
outrageous.
food on the planet.
Yes. Honestly, the regular Jolly Ranchers are awesome too. But
Jolly Ranchers are dope.
The jelly bean versions are somehow better than regular jelly beans.
Another good like reverse of this thing is, what if you had to have 2 now and laters every day for a year?
One now and one later.
One late, yes, of course. You think you'd be able to do that? How many teeth do you think you would have?
What's a now and later?
It's like a taffy type thing, but when I haven't had one forever, but I just remember legitimately one time in middle school, if they got stuck to your teeth, it was like an ordeal taking them off. So one time I had a loose-ish tooth, and it got stuck to that tooth, and I was like,
I don't do teeth. No.
Well, neither did I that day because I had one fewer. I just ripped it out, and yeah.
No, I don't do like teeth stories.
Got some real what is wrong with you when I ripped it out.
Yeah. Do you have like those things? I mean, like I feel like everybody has one of those things where it's like
phobias.
Teeth. Yeah. Well, not like. Would you call it a phobia? Like I'm not like afraid of teeth. It's just like when you talk about teeth getting hurt, it's like it's awful. Like it gives me shivers throughout my entire body. People do that with eyes a lot. Like touching an eye or whatever.
I don't think. I mean, I'm just a coward. If I think that anything remotely gross might happen on a screen or something,
you watch
I look
all
away.
the Saw movies.
Yeah, but if it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm like, they're not gonna make it, and then I turn away. And they're like, "Wow, did you see that?" I'm like, "Let me guess, it was gross."
Yeah, I don't do teeth. The like the curb stomping scene
in
American History X.
Yeah, I sprint from that. You would not like the movie Would You Rather, starring Brittany Snow.
This is with Bevins.
Yes, she chooses. There's a thing where you take a card and you choose either whatever they present, or you open the card.
Mm-hmm.
And she's given have Bevins hold your head underwater for 2 minutes, or the card.
Are there good things on the cards sometimes, or is it always bad?
I think.
Is it like what's behind door number 2?
Right. I'm pretty sure. I think that in all cases, the card is significantly worse.
Really?
But you just don't know.
Right.
But she picks. All right, put my head underwater. And
good choice, because I think that's not terrible. Like you're not gonna drown, right?
2 minutes. Right. So 2 minutes is tough.
Yeah, it's tough, and you might pass out, but your head comes out of the water at some point, right?
I think that as long as you get to take a good breath before, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she does that, and then he's like, "Oh, let's see what the card is." Oh, and it was like a picture of a tooth, and he was like, "Extraction of all your teeth. Sorry, Bevins, maybe next year." And Bevins is like all pissed. And then one of the other guys is like, "I'm a gambler. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that because she chose that, I'm going to choose this and blah, blah. You have the book on me. But here's the thing, pal. I got the book on you. Give me the card." And it's a firecracker. And he's like, you have to hold a firecracker that goes off. And he's like, all right, maybe that won't be so bad. It ends up being a half stick of dynamite. Blows his hand off. He bleeds out and dies.
Jason Pierre-Paul built different.
Right. Sasha Grey, is that her name?
Sure.
Adult actress?
I don't know.
Something Grey. She was in Entourage. Let's see. Sasha Grey? Something Grey, right? Yeah, Sasha Grey. She was in Entourage. Her name actually, famously, is apparently Marina Ann Hansis.
Okay.
But she's known professionally as Sasha Grey.
Okay.
That's
know.
How you end up with that. Anyway, chooses the card, and the card is 4 minutes underwater.
That's tough.
And they're like, yo.
You could die with 4 minutes underwater.
Right. He's like, they're all objecting. They're like, come on, that's impossible.
Brain damage.
Yeah. And he's like, technically not true. You can live. So they do. She's like, all right, 3, 2, and he throws her down before she gets the breath.
Oh, come on.
It sucks. She's like struggling within like 20 seconds.
Right.
And it's just like toast immediately.
Yeah.
So unfair.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to give somebody a challenging card or whatever, give him a fair shot.
Yeah. He, the guy that there was like a little romance with him and Brittany Snow until she shoots him at the end to win. And then she goes back and her brother, played by, I believe, Logan Miller, has killed himself because she'd done all of it because she needed money for him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, this is the one night she's going out. I don't know what she's up to, but I can't be burdened to her. Heartbreaking. Real commentary on the healthcare system. Crazy movie.
This is like the second and a half time that you've explained it.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting. It was definitely my favorite Deej Explains the Movie.
Love that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out that whole candy thing. Not really sure even where that story was supposed to go. But lots of movies are out.
That's right. Before we get to that, I want to talk about a movie that I watched.
West Side Story.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but before that, we're going to Tarantino this.
Saw the new Batman movie.
Yes, that's right. But before that,
I saw Studio 666.
Yes, but before that,
I watched There Will Be Blood. I need to remind myself why we think Paul Dano's good.
Because he was awesome in There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, he was good in that movie.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Yeah,
altogether.
I mean,
it's a great movie.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Daniel Day-Lewis.
But before that,
Paul Dano probably a distant third of greats there. I don't like Paul Dano as much as everybody else, I've realized.
We can get to
I
that.
don't dislike Paul Dano.
We can get to that in a little bit, but before that,
I saw Love and Mercy, in which Paul Dano played Brian Wilson.
oh yeah, but before that,
he was in There Will Be Blood with Paul Thomas Anderson.
that's right. But before that,
Diet Smoke. Before that, I would like to tell you about Vizzy.
yes.
All right. I'd like to tell you about Vizzy. I'd like to talk about a time I had a difficult choice to make, where all the options were too similar.
Yeah, right. Just like what you all the movies that you saw.
Right. I'm like, oh, man, There Will Be Blood, Drive My Car. All these movies are the same thing. Actually, I went to see the new Batman, and I go to get a Coke, and this lovely worker, Happy International Women's Day, says...
Shout out to
Pepsi
people that get that joke.
Yeah. Is Pepsi okay?
Yes.
And I say, if I wanted a that's such a great joke. Minus the language. I'd clean it up a little bit. But anyway, sometimes the options are all the same, but when there's something extra with one option, it makes your choice easier, right? As the first hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C, Vizzy brings something unique and delicious to the table. I wonder if I'm supposed to say things like Coke and Pepsi during reads for beverages.
Too late now.
Yeah. I'm going to share a story of someone who I admire who unapologetically has two traits you wouldn't expect to go together. For example, someone I admire, depending on the day, has the trait of eating ice cream and also the trait of just smoking Chex Mix to the face.
Okay.
And it's
What could it
okay.
be?
It's okay when someone can do both.
Yes.
Find you someone who can do both.
That's right.
Grab yourself a drink that can do both with Vizzy Hard Seltzer. Vizzy's the first hard seltzer crafted with antioxidant vitamin C, extracted from superfruit acerola cherry. There's plenty of hard seltzers to choose from, but with its bold and delicious dual fruit flavors and antioxidant vitamin C, Vizzy makes the choice a little easier and a lot tastier. I kid you not, man. Everyone knows we do our seltzers. We like our seltzers. Pete, personally, is more of like he likes fruit-flavored seltzers.
No, I like meats.
You used to.
That's right. I've been converted.
Yeah.
I did see our guy Jeff Israel tweet yesterday, like, what is the point of hard seltzers?
I mean,
I think he said
there's an answer.
I think he said, what is the point of hard seltzers other than like switching from beer to seltzers at a wedding or something? But that's a man who's not familiar with Vizzy.
I mean, I just disagree. If you're out in the hot sun and you really don't want to do beers as much,
I think he later did issue a correction and said, "Okay, the beach."
there's so many things. That's a little dude with signy of Jeff. It's a little like,
What is the point?
hey, why are we doing this? If you do this, then whatever. Not our speed. But if you don't like Vizzy, you're nuts.
That's right.
There's pineapple mango, black cherry lime, strawberry kiwi, blueberry palm, papaya pea, watermelon strawberry, blackberry L, and famously raspberry tangerine. Vizzy also has a lemonade hard seltzer as well as watermelon hard seltzer. Each variety pack offers 4 delicious fruit flavors and the same antioxidant vitamin C. My favorite personally, give me that blueberry pea.
Okay.
Blueberry pomegranate. You
Yeah.
ever had that one?
Yeah.
I like blueberry stuff. I do blueberry bing bong in the morning. I either have blueberry coffee or I do a French vanilla coffee. Blueberry stuff. You know, the blueberry is like easy, supposedly, on the old brain.
Really?
Yeah.
So you skip breakfast and stuff that brain with blueberries?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I load the
Genius.
without eating the blueberry. I still get the antioxidants, the good vibes. And, I mean, if you're putting Bing Bong in your system, which, of course, during this hard seltzer read, let's just randomly talk about coffee for a couple minutes. But I figure, like, if you're putting coffee and caffeine in you, which can rile you up a little bit, it's nice to have, like, a little soothing thing in there.
That's right.
Which blueberry can do. So if you're just chilling out, I love me a blueberry pomegranate Vizzy because it's got the good vibes, the good energy, the antioxidant. I mean, you're getting antioxidant vitamin C throughout all these, but blueberry really is like that's like OG antioxidant.
You ever try putting beans in your computer?
I've seen that video. I'm not a fan of that kid.
What?
Yeah, I think he's kind of wasting that guy's time. I
is-
hope he paid that man for his service.
Yeah, I hope he did too, but that is an all-time video. Just the exclamation of, "This is beans!"
It never hurts to add some vitamins and antioxidants to the mix. With Vizzy, you can enjoy refreshment now with antioxidant vitamin C. And at 5% ABV, 100 calories, and less than 1 gram of real cane sugar per can, every sip of Vizzy is more exhilarating. So, step up your seltzer game with Vizzy. To find out where you can purchase Vizzy, go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed. To get updates on latest flavor drops and more, sign up for emails at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. Must be 21. I saw the new Batman.
Yeah, but I saw a movie called Our Friend, and it is the most depressing movie that has ever existed.
Yeah, give that to me. You said you were you described it. It sounded like the 5-year engagement.
I've never seen the 5-year engagement, but I did see Our Friend, which came out it came out at the film festival in like 2019, but didn't get widely released until 2021.
Okay.
It lost about $10 million at the box office, but in fairness, it came out right before the pandemic. It came out in January of 2021. Stars, I didn't know anything about it when I went into it. So started off my Monday morning, was like, I'm going to watch a movie. I'll just pick something random on Amazon. Pick this one because I like the cast. It has Casey Affleck, Dakota Johnson, and Jason Segel. And I was like, I like all 3 of these people. Let me see what this is about. It is about just the worst time ever. It's about a couple, Casey Affleck and Dakota Johnson, and Dakota Johnson has cancer.
Okay.
It's terminal, and it is about their mutual friend, Jason Segel, who's like their best friend of both him and her, and he like uproots his own very depressing life to come assist basically in like the hospice care of Dakota Johnson's character, and it doesn't get any more uplifting.
It probably doesn't get any more like the 5-year engagement because that cannot be more the 5-year engagement.
Really?
It's Jason Segel, Dakota Johnson, and Jason Segel uproots his life. That's a 5-year engagement. Jason
Okay.
Segel and Emily Blunt have to move to Michigan, and he hates it, and it's horrible, and she's thriving. Then Jason Segel starts fucking Dakota Johnson. Casey Affleck isn't there, but, I mean, that all sounds the same.
So there's an affair.
Is Kevin Hart in this?
Is there no? But is there an affair in?
Yeah.
There's also an affair in this one.
What kind of accent is Allison Brie doing in this one?
None. She's not in it, famously.
What kind of 5-year engagement is? How are you gonna make the 5-year engagement without Alison Brie? She does a British accent. She bangs Chris Pratt. They have a kid, and it ends up like they end up having like a nice family life when it seemed like they were going to be train wrecks.
Okay, good for them. Yeah, but this one is just like the somehow more. It's probably my own fault for watching a Casey Affleck movie and not expecting it to be like morbidly depressing. But this was somehow worse than Manchester by the Sea.
More depressing?
More depressing than Manchester by the Sea. Like at least Manchester by the Sea, that's like, okay, this horrible thing happened to this guy and something good came out of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing really good that came out of this story, other than like a guy who was already friends with this guy became better friends with this guy because his wife dies. And that's it. That's about as uplifting as it gets. And this movie is so depressing that it literally gave me a panic attack.
Oh my God.
It ruined the rest of my day because I was exhausted from the panic attack. And I know that there's going to be people that watch this movie now based off of just like the morbid curiosity of how depressing it is. It is extremely depressing.
Not me. I already saw the 5-year engagement. That was depressing enough. Is Randall Park in this?
No. We did get recommended a Always Be My Maybe.
Yeah.
Which I believe that you had watched a while back.
And did an episode on.
Did we?
Yes.
Okay.
I politely told that person, asked and answered, thank you. And they were like, oh, forgot whether you guys had done it. But yeah, we didn't Always Be My Maybe episode.
The one thing that did save my day yesterday after watching that horrendously, the movie is pretty good though. I'll say, like, it is extremely depressing, but it is good. And I would say that Jason Segel and Casey Affleck turn in outstanding performances.
I couldn't tell you a bad Casey Affleck performance.
Yeah,
like he's never been bad in a movie.
No, I don't think so.
And like it just ranged from like he was good to he was unbelievable.
Yes, that's probably true. But the one thing that did save my day, I took a bath.
Good.
I'm becoming a bath guy.
Good.
I'm like becoming a bath guy with accessories now.
Better late than never.
Yes, I know that I'm probably like 2 years behind the curve here for you, but that's like
maybe like a year and a half, maybe 2. Who knows? I have no sense of time anymore.
Yeah, me neither. I knew that you had become a bath guy a couple of years ago. I haven't had a bath.
Probably in a.
Oh, you're like I haven't had a bathtub. But recently moved, now have a bathtub. So I decided that I would maybe give it a shot, see if it helps the old mentals a little bit. It is the most relaxing and enjoyable thing.
Dude, I mean, I haven't done one in a little bit, but when you get into a routine of like taking one every night, if you can, it rocks.
I don't know if I'm going to be an every night guy, but
like say like
for like a certain thing or like every other day. So I did yesterday. I tossed in a bath bomb, watched the Bruins.
Yeah, have a thing to watch.
Yeah.
So I'd bring in the laptop, I'd put on a Bruins game, or I watched Ted when I was watching Ted Lasso for the first time. That was a big bath time activity.
Seems like a good bath show.
And the other I watched. This is how it came about. Because we were talking in LA, we were talking about This Is My House.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I was like, I was explaining that show and saying that I watched it in the bath, and like my bathroom was a catastrophe because I would just like splashing in like disappointment that it wasn't that person's house.
I do remember. I was quite drunk at this time when you were describing it in California, but
you
did say that you were like splashing around in there,
throwing a fit,
rubber duckies flying everywhere.
Wasn't that motherfucker person's house? It has the stings of.
I did like music the first night, and I got a little restless, so I invested in a like a caddy that goes across the tub.
That's nice. I don't have that.
Okay, I got the bath bombs and the caddy, and like I have a nice little tray for like I made an old fashioned.
Whoa.
And put that in. And then I watched the Bruins, drank a little bit, and it was fucking amazing. Lit a Vineyard Nights candle.
Wow.
So all the way in on baths.
And the cool thing about taking baths is, I mean, your bathroom should hopefully always smell nice. But if you are a regular bath taker, your bathroom is going to smell amazeballs.
Okay.
Because you just constantly have nice smelly things going in there.
Yeah, I got the bath bomb, and I got Vineyard Night scents
Yeah.
permeating throughout there.
Strong recommend. So,
Are you do you shower before or after?
after doing a bath?
Yeah, I was instructed that you got to shower after you do bath.
No, you don't. I do it at the end of the day. I'm showering in the morning anyway.
Okay.
And honestly, I am running that hot water into the fucking ground. There's not going to be a trace of hot water in the town in which I live for like 45 minutes.
So do you re-up like halfway through the bath?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You let a little go, you bring
Yeah.
a little back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that helps with. Actually, I don't know if it helps or not, but I tell myself that it helps with. It like refreshes the bubbles, but it doesn't. You want the bubbles to just like die down.
I don't have bubbles. No bubbles yet.
Bubbles are a good way to like kind of time the bath.
Okay. Yeah,
Because you
only...
can't just get out until the bubbles are dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've been told. Like, because Ellen was like, "How you take short baths?" And I'm like, "How long am I supposed to be in the bath for?"
How long were you taking a bath?
Yesterday, I was in there for like an hour.
Yeah, like hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay. So I was in there for an hour. The previous night, I was only in there for like a half an hour. But like I said, I didn't have a full setup. I was getting a little restless.
Yeah.
So I am in the market for like a bath time playlist.
Yeah, you asked me. You were like, "Hit me with the bath playlist." I don't have one. I just when I do music, which I rarely do in there, I'll just put on an album.
Yeah.
Or
There are very few albums that I like can stand start to finish though. But so like if any listeners have bath time recs.
I mean, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Pure Moods. It was a compilation album. There were constant ads for it in the early 90s. And my TV watching experience was this ad for this
Is
compilation
it like one of the
album.
late night ads where they like scroll the songs?
Right, it's like that, except it was late night, early night, during the day, everything. And you're getting like a lot of like Enya's on there.
Oh.
You got...
Enya would be a great bath.
Yeah, I mean,
artist.
Enya's like the ultimate bath artist. But you're getting like there's some Kenny G on there. It's just who else is on there? Enigma's on there. There's a lot of just like soothing, chill stuff. So
All right.
Pure Moods, and there's a playlist of it on Spotify.
You all right? So maybe I'll steal from that because I think that I'm going to make my own bath time playlist, and I'm going to call
just because
it
you want to.
Bath Time Shithead. Of
That's
course.
an elite name.
And so I will make that. I know that you're mainly the playlist guy on this podcast, but I'm gonna
Toss it on the Patreon.
I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna take some recs. If you want to submit it, if you're on the Patreon, feel free. I will put out the call on the Patreon for bath time recs. So please respond if you got any. Join the Patreon if you're not on there already. Patreon.com/listentobrunch.
Our content on there is so good right now.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a fucking bath time playlist.
You get a bath time. I mean, for $5 a month, you get all this extra content and a bath time playlist. Imagine being able to pay $5 a month for a bath time playlist.
That's right.
That alone is worth the price.
We visit you in the bath.
Right. And speaking of people giving people things, we are going this week at some point. We will notify people who are getting the passes to the Green River Festival. We have the passes. We've just we've asked like who wants to go, and we've just forgotten to give them away. So we're gonna do like a random drawing thing, and yeah, we're also going to plan the sleepover. We're gonna do that soon in short order. That's coming on the Patreon now. We have Oscar's mini episodes for King Richard, West Side Story, the Nightmare Alley, and Coda. And this week we will be adding D My Car and Don't Look Up. I'm excited to see Drive My Car. That's a long movie. It also is in another language. It's English subtitles. It's currently streaming. I have made
Currently streaming where?
HBO Max, I believe.
Okay.
But I've made the responsible decision to give this movie a fair shake and see it in theaters, because if a movie, I've learned these days, if a movie is a certain amount of length, it's not just a me problem. I know this about every fucking human. If a movie is more than like 91 minutes, people get on their phones. And I can't do that with an Oscars movie. So I'm going to go to a theater and keep myself honest.
Yeah, so for me, if I'm going to do that, I have to watch it late at night, like when I know that the interruptions are going to be very limited. So I'll probably stream it tonight.
Okay.
It will be. I think it'll be interesting to maybe get the juxtaposition of
I saw it in the
theater experience versus at-home experience.
You know what? I might be a little distracted. I can feel myself doing some popcorn, maybe even some soda. I had 1.5 sodas last night.
Wow. Do you count ginger ale as soda?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, then I've been pounding soda.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's like carbonated water with sugar in it.
It is a tremendous treat, though.
Ginger ale is great.
I've been expanding my ginger ale palate. I recently dipped my toes into the cranberry ginger ale.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a move. That is a real game changer.
That's very good.
Y'all.
Game changer, y'all. Man, we got to get the board. It'll just be that. And like at different pitches,
we're gonna get a full, permanent setup coming and
game changer, y'all.
That's right, and we will have a board.
Yeah, we'll have a board that will just only have Torian drops.
Yes,
our art will be Torian, and we'll be like,
we are changing the name of the podcast.
You must like that actor.
Changers.
Be like, we like that character's arc in the final season.
Yes,
man. I hope everybody watched Insecure because Torian, it's not even like a comeback story. They just like had him laying in the weeds, and he was very useful to Molly's story forever. But like, we were never talking about Torian.
Right, yeah.
And then those two started
just really emerged.
Those two started doing the hibbity dibbity.
He did a real Tim Thomas career arc.
Right, just like Vezinas.
I'm around, but yes, I'm going to be the best at the end.
He ended up with 2 Vezinas in 3 years. The Conn Smythe, absolute legend. Saw the new Batman movie, but actually, since we're talking about Don't Look Up this week, let's first talk about Winning Time, the HBO thing about the Lakers. It's a mini-series, John C. Reilly. It's got a good cast. Everyone's very excited for it. I saw... Everybody, you told me you were like, yo, people are loving this. People say it's awesome. And I was like, fuck yes. I couldn't wait. Watched it. Had some like light Elaine with English Patient vibes. I didn't think that it stunk, but I was like, oh, fuck. I don't like this as much as everybody else. I feel like a dick. And
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. But when I put out that I didn't like it as much as everybody else, I had a lot of people confide in me. Be like, hey.
Off the record.
Like off the record. I agree with this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like the complaint that you lobbed my way, like I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I didn't think that it was as annoying as you did. So you want to tell the people what your complaint is?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's probably a complaint that people had about Don't Look Up, which I think was where people were like, I'm just sick of Adam McKay, like when Don't Look Up came out. And I was like, well, that's your fucking... Then don't watch an Adam McKay movie, you dork.
But I think for Don't Look Up it was different because Don't Look Up they were like, it feels like it feels like it's satire because it is.
Yeah, it was dummies. But this was like the worst of Adam McKay. This is like the worst case scenario of Adam McKay for me, where it has all of this, like, we're making jokes, we're being funny, and you don't get a single joke the whole time.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I think that it was, like, it really knocks you over the head with, like, the McKay-ism of, like, gonna break the fourth wall.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Isn't it wacky how
text
we're telling
on
this
the
story?
screen. Yeah.
Like, but I mean, I enjoy that. I'm still not totally sick of it, but I understand that, like, if you have Adam McKay exhaustion, then like this is probably a little. It comes on strong.
And I never feel that way when I see an Adam McKay thing. Like even like Vice, which does that like crazy. I was like,
even for Vice though, it kind of like it lets it breathe. And I don't know if that's because it's like a movie and Adam McKay is comfortable in that space. But like this one, it really like sets the tone early and it comes on very strong.
Like every 2 seconds, there's some. I think that I'd like Adam McKay, at least for this series, to do what I wish The Office did with Creed, which is I always wish that Creed had 5 lines the entire series of The Office, and Creed would have been a legend. And I know that a lot of people find Creed to be a legend anyway, but I think that like ultimately the Creed character kind of sucked.
It's like closer to John
John-
Ralphio
right,
in Parks and Rec, where like they really saved their John Ralphio bullets for the most part.
Yeah.
And maybe a little
Every
bit
now and then-
overexposed at the end.
Right.
But once they realized that people started to really fucking love him. But like in the early to mid part of Parks and Rec, John Ralphio like was batting 1,000.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I think in the early days of the podcast, we commended them for doing that and like probably talked about how like there's got to be temptation to run this guy into the ground.
Right.
Please don't do that. And that's why I got in an argument with somebody about the best like TV show, like sitcoms ever. And they pulled up the Rolling Stone list and they were like, wow, Parks and Rec is very high. And it was higher than it should have been. But I was like,
Because it never got
Parks
bad.
and Rec deserves to like Parks and Rec never made bad decisions.
Yeah.
And that even if it didn't have like the highs of the other ones, you deserve credit for having like a long running sitcom, for lack of a better term, that never made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
But I would like for Winning Time to only put text on the screen 3 times the whole season.
Okay. How many in the first episode? I know there was twice, but I guess once if you count
Like white and black.
White and black, yeah.
So that one I like I smirked at, but also that one they did this like real like I was gonna say like they did this like real like Larry versus Magic thing. Like, oh, where does that come from? But obviously like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were a huge rivalry. Please read Jackie McMullen's book on them. It's amazing. But
What's it called?
When the Game Was Ours.
Okay.
Yeah, you got some like, oh, does he not remember?
No,
what the
I just
name-
wanted to make like if you're gonna throw out a recommendation, you should know the name of it.
I should. Yeah, it's called When the Game Was Ours.
Okay.
I just remember it's got a gold cover and
Okay.
it says Larry Bird, Irvin Magic Johnson. Great book. Anyway, but they do like a lot of like the Lakers are like choosing, but like who are they going to build their franchise around? Like Larry Bird or Magic Johnson? Like they were in different drafts.
Right. Well, they do
And
they
do,
do
like-
say that it was like a Jerry Buss gives like a trick question to his daughter.
Right. Of like who should I
Yeah,
draft? But
yeah.
they still like build up like like
They really play it up like in the first episode before Magic even enters the NBA. It seems like they're like really harping on Larry versus Magic when I know that they did have like somewhat of a rivalry in college.
oh
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Magic Johnson beat him in the
Okay.
national championship.
Okay, so like it exists, but like they're making it out to be maybe a bigger deal. Than,
No, I mean they just kind of make it seem like. Honestly, like I took as a Celtics fan, like I took it to be like, ooh, like the Celtics really fucked up not taking like Magic Johnson there, huh? Bet you want that pick back. And also, like I said to you, like it came off as like them doing the whole like the racial element of it of like. Back then, people being like, "Oh, like Larry, there's just something so nice about him."
He's a
and, like, the
hard-nosed,
racism
hard
of-
worker,
right,
blue collar,
right, and then putting
yeah.
on the screen like white,
and then Magic is flashy and
right.
and like an entertainer, showman.
But
blah,
it was
blah.
like at least I kind of took it as being like they really took the cheese on this guy when they could have had Magic Johnson. And I was like,
no, I didn't interpret it
Okay.
that way. Like I interpreted it as like just the stereotypes that even still exist now.
right,
That
like,
are like
seriously, within the last like 5 years, people would be like, oh, like real like small shifty receiver.
yeah, it's like oh, so he's white and
Right.
he's fast.
yeah.
Or when a white quarterback is quick, he's got deceptive speed.
Oh yeah, sneaky fast.
Yeah.
Sneaky fast. We didn't talk about, speaking of quarterbacks, we didn't talk about that Russell Wilson was traded
Yeah,
today.
who cares?
I was excited about that, mainly because like Aaron Rodgers was trying to have like a big Aaron Rodgers day. And
I'm always a fan of Aaron Rodgers being
Rapport
just
reports the contract, and he's like, well, I would just like to say that while I am returning, those numbers are inaccurate.
like,
but
"Shut
don't
up,
worry,
here's a
Ma, Russell
trade!"
Wilson has been traded. Denver Broncos, AFC West is going to be cuckoo banana pants.
Mhm.
All those quarterbacks out there. Good Lord. Watch out.
Your Chargers.
Mike, you see they signed Mike Williams?
No.
Yes.
Good for them.
Yeah. Terrible contract.
Well, that sounds about right.
$20 million a year. He's
replaceable.
If he's like, he's like when he's awesome, he's like the end of that Raiders game.
Yeah, but he's going to play for the Chargers. That's the problem.
Yeah, but with Justin Herbert, I don't know. Like they can build off last year, but not feeling too amazing if I'm the Chargers. We discussed I got a Chargers helmet. Not sure what we're going to do with it, but got a Chargers helmet.
I did see that. Yeah.
That's in the mix.
We visited the Chargers team store, and unfortunately...
Oh, did we talk about it on the last episode?
I think so. I think we talked about it on the LA episode.
Just like, what Chargers?
Right. Well, the Rams did just win the Super Bowl.
There was like, instead of piss jersey, there was just like a little piss.
Here's one jersey, and there's piss on
it. yeah. I saw the new Batman movie.
Very cool.
3 years long. No, I mean, the what did you think of the new Batman thing is always tough for me because I'm like, we're never going to see a Batman movie and be like, that sucked. Because it's going to be exciting. And
there have been a few that I've seen and been like, that sucked.
What did you think sucked? You see that? You think the Batman sucked?
No, the Batman was very good, very nearly great.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.5.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good score.
Yeah.
I think that it was I like a lot of the things that it did, and from like a technical standpoint, it's a fucking masterpiece. That movie looks incredible. It sounds incredible. Like all of the Batman stuff, like the Batman suit, the Batmobile, all
he's got a
unbelievable.
Yep.
Robert Pattinson is an awesome Batman. Zoe Kravitz is awesome Catwoman, both in looks and in character. I saw people who were absolutely freaking out over Zoe Kravitz.
I thought Zoe Kravitz gave the best performance in this movie.
Really?
Her or Colin Farrell.
I thought that Jim Gordon was.
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Who is his name's slipping me.
Yeah.
Shoot, what's his name? I love him too, and I forget his name. He's from Westworld and a bunch of other things.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah. Unbelievable casting job. Like all the pieces are in place for like the franchise to be incredible, and that's what I'm most excited about moving forward. Like I think that the potential is sky high. Unfortunately, like it's not a perfect movie, but it is an incredible first installment. I think I saw somebody describe it as a little bit bloated, and I think that's they weren't talking about Colin Farrell's Penguin. Definitely bloated, but they were talking about, I think, like just there's a lot happening, and it's 3 hours long, and it does feel like it could be like 2.5 hours.
I was gonna say if this movie were 2 hours and 10 minutes, I would love it. And I don't know if you can really carve off 50 minutes, but I'm pretty sure you can carve off like 30.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So 2.5, I think, would be great.
So the biggest takeaway from this movie, and I don't know if it's not necessarily a complaint because they can make a Batman movie however they want, but it's like all Batman.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like there is no Bruce Wayne essentially in this movie.
Yeah.
He Robert Pattinson is Batman in costume the whole time, and he's in a ton of the scenes. So it's just basically like Batman living his life. So like he's got he volunteers down at the station. Like a lot of I was absolutely tickled by that. They would just like be at a police station and like they're like, hey, someone's here. Oh, I think Batman's here. Yeah, he said he was gonna come by. What's up, Batman?
That's
hey, what are you guys working on? And like it was.
But that's my favorite part of that movie. Like 100%.
There was like casual Batman.
It's Batman establishing a relationship with the police department. That is like my favorite part of my favorite dynamic, because it's like the Gordon and Batman dynamic is at its best in this movie. And
I should have mentioned, by the way, Jeffrey Wright when talking about the good performances.
Yes, he was great.
Awesome.
And like the idea of like Batman sort of like cutting his teeth as a more detective type, I really like. This was essentially like a detective movie.
Yeah. It was like a serial killer.
Right. It was like tracking a serial killer. Like it had some like Seven vibes to it. And so like I really like that. A lot of the Batman movies previously are just like action movies or like more comic book style. This was a detective movie.
This is the most like even I didn't think that you could get more civilian than the Christopher Nolan trilogy because those were like pretty rooted in reality, like they could all theoretically happen, kind of. Bane was a little like far-fetched. Like they had some like whimsical stuff, but you're like, yeah, it's a fucking Batman movie. Nothing in this movie was like whimsical.
No, it's I don't want to say it's not fun, but there's no lightheartedness in this movie. Like it is a 3-hour, very dark, gritty movie.
I'm disrespecting everybody, by the way. Totoro was really good.
Totoro was good.
Sarsgaard didn't really do anything, and I love him.
Really, yeah.
But he just like didn't do anything.
He just got like drunk and weepy.
Yeah,
that's all he did the entire movie.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Dano and the Riddler because I'd heard like unbelievable things.
Yes,
going
people
in.
said that he was great and like haunting, and no, he didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I came out and I was like,
no, I think
what the
like the plot and like the
he was fine. He executed the role, but
I was disappointed by like his performance, and not that he was bad, but like there was nothing stood out about it really to me.
Yeah, like he passed.
Yeah, and the riddles themselves, nothing special. Yeah, nothing special.
You give me a second, I could have figured out like quite a few of those.
And Batman does immediately like every riddle. He's just like,
casual Batman is like,
this is
second
year Bat. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is second year Batman who is like inexperienced with dealing with these psychopathic villains and
knocking them out of the park.
First one he encounters, he's like, this guy's weak as shit.
Yeah. People
get your numbers up.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm missing something, or just very possible.
Very lucky.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Very lucky though. Going back to your point, where this is like an all Batman movie. Very lucky that Dano didn't bring this movie down, because if it had been a Riddler movie, it would have been pretty lame, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, so somebody had made the case that like that The Dark Knight is their favorite Batman movie, but they almost don't even consider it a Batman movie because they consider it a Joker movie.
Fair.
And The Dark Knight is definitely a Joker movie. This, you cannot mistake it for anything other than a Batman movie.
I think you could mistake it for like a cop movie. This is, you know what this is? This is the spiral of Batman.
But you know who's a cop?
Chris Rock.
Batman, essentially.
No, he's a volunteer. Yeah, he's volunteers down at the station. He
spends more hours being a cop than any of those cops.
He's like really likes the idea of law enforcement.
Yeah,
and
I think that it does a good job of like setting up why Gordon and Batman have such a good relationship, because in this one, like all the cops are dirty.
Yeah,
and Gordon only trusts Batman, and Batman is like, "Yo, you're a good cop." So it's them kind of like bonding, and also solving a serial killer spree.
Did you stay for the mid credits or end credits?
I did, but I didn't even notice that there was one. So like, it was very unassuming.
This was the height of impatience for me. As the credits were starting, I was like waiting for a minute, and then I just Googled, is there a mid credits thing, and it said there is.
It's just like a website thing.
But
right?
it says it's just like, if you want to read into that this movie was made by the Riddler, then you can, because it's like him signing off or whatever.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't need any more of that boring ass Riddler.
Yeah. And if this movie was made by the Riddler, there should be more Riddler, I would think, right? Because this is all
maybe
Batman.
he knew that it's not the best Riddler.
It's true. What'd you think of the twist? It's not really a twist. The fun little wink at the end
of
in the Arkham prison.
Yeah.
Or asylum.
I didn't get it. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, oh, let me guess. Yeah, that was you want to talk about an easy riddle.
Oh yeah, postmarked.
Yeah. I was like, yo, I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, and I think that they could have used a little more subtlety.
I wish someone was there and was like, do that less loud, please.
Yeah. It was not subtle at all.
Why are you screaming? You're next to each other.
Did you catch who it was?
Who played them?
Yeah.
I can't even think of who it was, so I don't remember if I did catch who it was.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, you would have to kind of either like look it up or guess, but I found out in a fun way.
Oh, I saw in the credits.
Yes,
that
that's how I found out. That, like, I stuck around and I saw in the credits this person's name, and I was like, who the hell did they play? And turns out they were like, this is who they play.
So it's a famous sports franchise owner?
No. That's not who I'm talking about.
Oh, what are you playing?
Who are we talking about? Huh? No.
Oh. That person was in the credits.
Really?
Who?
You ever see Dunkirk? Yeah. He's the one with the weird face. No, it's Ed Hardy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did know that was him.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I couldn't I actually screamed it's him. And someone said who, and I was like, haven't seen Dunkirk.
Who did the other guy play?
I don't think anybody, but he's just listed in the credits.
Is he like an executive producer?
Oh, he could have been in on that, trying to turn a little coin off it. I mean, he also owns a professional sports franchise, so it could be that. Last movie I'd like to touch on is Studio 666, which I watched, and that is bottom 10 movie I've ever seen in my life. And like not even in, and everyone's like, well, it didn't, what did you expect it to be good? And I was like, I expected it to be like campy and fun or something like that. Maybe
watchable.
Right.
Is it unwatchable?
It's I consider it to be unwatchable.
Would if we were still doing piece of shit of the year award,
it would be up for. I mean, I was perusing my list of what year was Little Women and Uncut Gems and Knives Out and not Whiplash, fucking Parasite.
2019.
I think it was 2019. It must have been. That was such a great year for movies, and I have a list of all the movies I saw that year and how I ranked them. And Cats was dead last, and actually, Always Be My Maybe was that year.
Okay.
And I was like, if I were to make a list of movies I've seen this year, I have to imagine dead last would be fucking.
I mean, if it's
Studio
top
666.
10 worst of all time, I would.
It was really, really bad. Like, I don't know
Yikes.
who could enjoy it. I love Foo Fighters. I like that.
You like campy movies.
I like campy movies. I like bad horror movies.
You like music.
I like music. This is a. There was one part that was funny. Legitimately one part. He's got
exciting.
writer's block. And
How long is it?
Oh, it's an hour and 50 minutes.
No.
Right.
If you're making this movie, it's
It
got to
needs
be
to
like
be
an
80.
hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it needs to do what Popstar did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And Popstar
90
was
minutes
great.
max.
Yeah, it needs no fat on it, and this has way too much fat on it. But there's a scene where Dave Grohl has writer's block, and he finally comes up with a song, and he's playing it, and it's Hello, and Lionel Richie comes out, and he's like, hey, that's my song. And he's like, oh, shit, sorry. And he's like, I wrote that song. And he's like, my bad, dude. I won't play it. And he's like, stop playing it. And like, it's just like drag. This is why the movie's an hour and 50 minutes, I guess. But like, it's just like so dragged out. He's like, don't play it again. And he's like, I'm sorry, man. It's just I've been having such terrible writer's block. And he's like, I don't care. That's my song. Don't play it again. Write your own song. And as he's walking, and then he like walks away, and like, cause he's like a ghost or whatever. He's walking away. He's like, nerd.
That's awesome.
So that's funny.
Well, maybe Dua Lipa should try staying in that house because maybe she'll get yelled at
Yo.
for stealing music.
Did you see the Circling Back
did.
Boys
I
did
did.
that? Yeah, man, I love that segment. I wish I hope they keep doing more of that.
We
but
should steal it.
We should. That man, that is. I sent it to you.
It is
I was like
a blatant ripoff.
I get mad when they're like, "Ooh, so and so is suing like fucking Tom Petty is suing Sam Smith for Stay With Me," and I'm like, it's a very basic progression. Nobody owns that. lay
Right.
off him.
It's
this is
one
like
you would
same
listen.
song.
You would listen to that other song and you'd be like, I know that I fucking heard this song before, and like maybe it wouldn't click immediately, but you'd be like, I know that this is just like another song. Like another song samples this.
Yeah.
No, it's just stolen.
Rick Beato, great music YouTuber, made a video on it, like my thoughts on the Dua Lipa lawsuit. I watched the other day, and he was like, "All right, first he was like, if you haven't heard these, first I'll play Levitating, which like we've talked about on this channel before," and he plays a little bit of the chorus, and then he's like, "All right, now I'll play the other song." Just kidding. I just played both of them, and they were hard panned left and right,
Wow.
and you
Didn't
probably just heard like Levitating, and something maybe was a little like funky about it, but that was just both songs at the same time.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
crazy. That being said, I'm still gonna play the shit out of
Some
Levitating.
bangs. Put that
Levitating
on
is
the
so good.
The Bath P
It's
list.
so good.
Yeah.
I hope the other people get a ton of money for
Take a
her
soak to
stealing
that.
it, but man, she stole it and made it awesome.
I'm so glad she stole it. I wouldn't have heard those
Yeah, that's right.
wonderful songs, the notes before.
So are we
otherwise.
okay? Okay, cool. We're okay with it.
Yeah, just break them off like a bajillion dollars.
Right. If you're gonna steal the way that she stole. Steal it and make it 1,000 times better.
Or start working together. Be like, yo,
True.
write my next song too?
Hell yeah.